report demonstrates there is a strong preference for an orderly over a disorderly transition. Capital has a critical role to play in scaling the significant changes in our energy systems, and ensuring the best outcomes for that capital deployment will be a balance between the environmental, the social, and the economic implications. There's also a balance to find in the speed of the transition to meet the urgency of the decarbonisation challenge that we face, plus ensuring access to reliable and affordable energy and transitioning employment, so for those leaving old industries for new. So individuals, governments, businesses and their investors all have a part to play, but clear policy signals are very important for steering long-term capital deployment. It's what the investor groups on climate change have been seeking for many years now, but the policy response is certainly clearer than it was many years ago. This transition decade presents many opportunities for investors, but the risk and return expectations for capital deployment varies in developed and developing countries and for different technologies. So renewables, very straightforward now. Batteries and storage are the next focus, and then the specific technologies for those harder to abate sectors like materials. But capital for riskier, less proven technologies would require much greater government support, and it's not where institutional investors are focused right now. Net zero commitments from the finance sector, so banks, insurers, institutional investors, is a major development in 2021. Commitments have largely been made on part of the assets, which vary by organisation, but they are all CEO-signed commitments to work towards 100% of those assets over time. So from a science-based alignment point of view, the current commitment is insufficient, but it is a meaningful step forward. And there has been significant momentum just in the last 12 months, and that net zero by 2050 with the critical 2030 milestone reduction expectations have set an endpoint now to work back from for those looking to align and influence the long-term best interest scenario actually eventuating, but still delivering on those short-term objectives. And in our experience advising institutional investors who are making net zero commitments, and the commitments we've also made in our own funds in multiple regions this year, that is the question to be answered. So can I balance my long-term and my short-term objectives? And for many diversified investors, the answer is yes. For those that have made the commitment, the focus is now on implementation and prioritising emissions reductions in portfolios, where there is lowest transition capacity is a very big part of that, together with engaging with fund managers, with companies to actually steward the change at the company level, and then also investing in the companies that are delivering on the solutions that we need to support a successful and an orderly transition. There's some portfolio changes happening now, others realistically will take longer, but the net zero commitments are certainly focusing senior minds on the next steps that can be taken.